Imagine being in your 20s, being a young woman, trying to navigate life, and then every week you're being judged or you're being spoken down to or you're being patronized because you walk into a room full of men and women that treat you like you're stupid just because of your appearance or because you're a woman. So if it happens to you so many times, you really do start believing it. It can be really crushing.
Now, there's a lot, I would say, too much spoken about, the problems for women in business or, diversity, ethnic minorities, etc.
Yeah.
As someone who's young, who's Pakistani, who's a woman, how often do you see, or how often have you suffered from this, or what do you see?
In my 20s, I'm 35 now. That's the part where you say,
no
way.
So like deep science has been rewinding the clock.
All my money's on my face. In my 20s, I got a lot. Honestly, a lot of sexual discrimination. I've never felt discrimination because of my race. But I think that's because maybe people don't know where I'm from, or maybe it's different for women. But sexual discrimination all the time. It started at Ernst & Young. It carried on. Now in my 30s, I have less because people in my industry know me now, so they respect me. And also I know how to handle it better. So if I walk into a room and the men or women are not giving me the respect that I think I deserve as a basic right, I no longer take it personally. I just kind of get on with my job, and eventually everything evens out. I think things are getting better because people are more mindful. But when it happens to you, it's really hard.
Do you not find, it's probably a leading question because it's my opinion, I've been having this conversation a few times recently with people. I mean, one of my business partners who's moved over to Dubai recently, I mean, she's 28 and obviously a female because it's a she.
Yeah.
And, I was having the conversation recently about, how have you felt treated? And I guess, where we got to on the point was, yes, I've been discriminated initially because I'm young or because I'm a woman, but very quickly when people know that it's clear what I'm talking about, they switch. And I guess, like I said, it's a leading question because that would be my view as well. I mean, ultimately, if a guy is discriminating because it's a woman, or if an older person is looking down on a younger person, if within the minute or two of talking to them it's become clear they know what they're talking about, if you continue to discriminate, then ultimately you're just a fucking idiot, aren't you? Because you're doing yourself down by.
I do agree with you. I do, but imagine being in your 20s, being a young woman, trying to navigate life, and then every week you're being judged or you're being spoken down to or you're being patronized because you walk into a room full of men and women that treat you like you're stupid just because of your appearance or because you're a woman. So if it happens to you so many times, you really do start believing it. It can be really crushing. So eventually, yes, it's nice to get to that place where we are right now, but the journey is tricky. I won't sugarcoat it. I mean, what did you think of me when you first met me? I don't think we even had an introduction. Our common friend introduced us at Arts. Just be honest, what was your, original...
I mean, I genuinely
didn't care.
Too busy laughing.
Say whatever.
Just wanted to get another glass of that red wine. No, I mean, obviously you were busy. We were trying to talk, and you were busy hosting multiple other people as well. But I guess I found the beginning of an interesting conversation.
That's amazing. That means you were neutral to it. So that means you didn't judge me, which is amazing.
But I find myself, when I say I find myself a neutral person, I don't discriminate against it, and that's why I know it's easy for me to say as a white male that I don't like things to do with discrimination, things to do with ethnic minorities. But that's because I know from a personal perspective that I've hired everybody from young to old. I've got putting more women employees in key positions than men. Black, brown, disabled guy, everything. I don't give a monkey's where anyone comes from because I want the best people for the job.
Absolutely.
And I, I hate the concept of forcing diversity because ultimately it's not a true representation anyway. Like when you look at the movies now, and there's five people in a friendship group, for example, and one's white, one's black, one's disabled, one's a transgender. I think, hang on a minute, that's supposed to be a representation of society. There is not 20% black people, 20% transgender lesbians. It's just. But again, it's easy for me to say, knowing that I behave in the right way. I'm sure if you are the minority and you're used to being subjected to to unfair behaviour,
you can get a little bit jaded. I definitely was in my 20s.
So